I have a story. Going into college, I was pretty much lost and didn't know, what to expect. Coming out of high school, after the whole pandemic was at its peak at the time and what it was going to bring me in that process. The normal things, which classes are at, which buildings, where can I pay for my classes, where can I register, why I had low confidence. I don't really know a lot of people here. How overall in that time, I keep learning new skills and tips during my college journey. It helped me to elevate to a new person. After learning these new things and especially growing with God in this process, helped me evolve, improve myself in a better way. So in this video, I'm going to discuss the best tips going into college, to have the best college experience if possible, and overall just improve as a person, during your college journey. All right, point number one, keep God first. Before you get the pencils, before anything, before you start, whole college journey you're going into, you have to keep God first. God is always the priority, especially in our lives today. Keeping God first keeps you, sober-minded and stable of your surroundings, understanding what situation is happening. And also God provides us with the Holy Spirit, guiding us in our lives. Keeping God first, especially, in today's age, is a big deal. It will save you from a lot of trouble, going into bad situations, understanding what's right and wrong, in this life. That kind of sober-mindedness, stability that he brings to us keeps you a lot of guidance, and peace, keeping you safe, especially in your college years. In Proverbs 3:6, it says, "In all your ways know him, and he'll keep your path straight." He will guide you into the good path. He won't lead you into the bad ones where it will lead you to trouble, bad friends, lead you into a path of sin, but instead into his path, getting closer to him. And overall, just keep you, sober-minded, focused on what you need to do, especially in college. A lot of homeworks, meetings, activities, how the whole theme of like Ecclesiastes in general is saying that there's always time for everything. Well, that's the case here. The college experience, and overall after you're done with college, how your life is going to be as an adult. And overall in that process, he just gives us the guide to get closer to him instead of sin and evil that will destroy us. All right, point number two, be well organized. Especially going into college, you need to be well organized. You have to build this habit. Being well organized is another way of saying having the knowledge of what you need, what you need to do at this time, being organized in that manner. And also being well organized gives you momentum. It builds momentum in the days. For example, that I have a class at this certain time, but they have office hours in the next hour. Being organized with your time. When can you have a meeting this time? Meet with your advisor this time. You need books for a certain class, certain materials, asking you questions from your professors, advisors, mentors, people close to you to help you succeed. You actually try your best to pass, you will. And also in that process, you tend to grow and know more of where everything is when you are attending school to just do well in general. Proverbs 13:4 says, "The slacker yet has nothing, but the diligent one is satisfied." We cannot be lazy. We could have all the ideas and desires that we want to do in this world. If we don't show up or work hard, it won't happen. Especially if God's not the focus in our lives. Praying to him that this school year will go well. Praying to God that you will do well in this test. That you will learn from your next lecture. The small things like that. That will guide you a long way. Point number three, time management. I remember learning how to time manage for the first time in my first year. I was terrible at it. I had mentors telling me, you plan your time. And to me, that was just like a foreign language. Like I'd never done that before. Once you get into college, you have a lot more responsibilities and you're a lot busier what you have to do. Learning how to manage your time is a good skill to learn, especially once you're done with college. It will take you a long way, especially of what you need to do, classes, things like that. Things that interest you. When you have your timing plan out for each activity you got to do, it just keeps you well organized too. Like I said in my last point, how they kind of mix together a little bit, but it just keeps you organized, and focused on what you really need to do. Understand that we're on our own timelines. Going into college, we have our own times on when we have class or not. And also having that understanding of, being on our own time will help you out. All right, point number four, enjoy the present. In college, you're always going to be busy once you're going in and start getting used to things. Well, one lesson I did learn, especially for myself when I'm into my third year of university, that we go to college one time. You know, this opportunity never comes back, you know, especially now. You know, the people we meet in college, the people that helped us, you know, the good memories, you know, the stressful days, the times that you hated that homework, you know, turning it in at midnight. Learn to enjoy it. Learn to enjoy the moment, even though if it's good or bad. Understand that you go one time, and God provided that experience for a reason, you know, to help you grow, especially with Him in the process. And understand it's for a reason. You know, not really focus on what happened in the past or in the future. Understand that God is in control of everything, and everything that has happened, His timing is always perfect. And where God guides us in His life, you know, it's going to be for His will. So enjoy the moment, but don't get too ahead of yourselves. I'm going to leave you up with this verse in Matthew 6:34. It's going to say that don't worry about tomorrow, or tomorrow worry about itself, that the rest will be taken care of. God's in control of what's going to happen in the future, that we should not be too worried about it. Instead, focus on now. Focus on the present that we have in front of us, the blessing God has given us today. You know, thank God that we get to wake up today. Thank God that we have the opportunity to spend time with our families, have the opportunity to go to school, where in a lot of countries they're in wars, to work at dead-end jobs because they cannot afford a school. Small details that we don't really notice at all. But instead, you know, God giving us the blessing, you know, having the opportunity to attend school, you know, not be in danger, not having to worry if we're going to have food on the table later on, those things. And for that, we always give praise to God. We always give thanks to God that we have a roof over our heads and have somewhere to sleep. And for a lot of us, you know, especially in this degenerate world, you know, where a lot of wickedness we see, especially on college campuses now, we overlook it. Instead, we just become ungrateful of the moments we have, and not being content and just wanting more and more and more, where it just leads to destruction and it's just vanity. It's just not worth it overall. All right, brothers, appreciate it so much. You know, DM me the word on Instagram, school, if you made it to the end. Like I said, brothers and sisters, take care of yourselves.